I get my P and Q and D and B different.
It's really crucial that we work to make sure that they are successful and that they know they're successful right from the start.
My name's Kate Bodle and I'm lucky enough to come and work at UELM School a couple of sessions a week, working with children who have dyslexia. This is a very small school. It has a very friendly population, both of staff and children.
UELM is a Church of England school in a very rural part of Oxfordshire. It's the oldest school in the country still operating from its original buildings.
At first sight, this is a very unusual school. It's in a beautiful setting, but it's not that unusual professionally and in terms of what the children experience. It's a regular school. They're not a specialist school, but it has in it teachers that are interested in dyslexic children.
Since I've been working here, the staff here have become very interested in working with dyslexic children, and there are plans to do some more formal training in the coming year.
But teachers at UELM already teach in a way that is accessible for children with dyslexia. In this programme, we will be looking at a number of the multi-sensory methods they use, including the use of fuzzy boards and wooden alphabets, and the practice of writing on children's backs to help them memorise their letter shapes.
Right, this is the work that we did the other week.
We will also be looking at the help that colour-tinted glasses give to some children, and the importance of teaching continuous cursive handwriting.
About 5% of the children that we would have in a normal class will have quite serious dyslexic problems, and they will need more intensive help.
A further 5% show some dyslexic characteristics. And at UELM, the teachers are on the lookout for the telltale signs of dyslexia from the first day a child enters the reception class.
If I was looking at children in a reception foundation class, I would be particularly looking out for children who have difficulties with organisation, for children who are not remembering sequences, so perhaps aren't remembering the days of the week, for example.
And you're looking for children who can't find their way around the school, are very disorientated when trying to find resources in the classroom, still can't get themselves dressed, so still putting their shoes on first and then not being able to get their trousers on.
Obviously, when children are doing their writing, they have kind of key characteristics that show through in their writing. We find one of the telltale signs is that children find it very difficult to retain information.
They have a serious difficulty remembering those shapes, remembering the sounds, hearing the differences in the sounds of words, being able to sound out a simple word even.
S.
At UELM, the knowledge that several children in every class are likely to be affected by dyslexia informs their teaching practice. Using a fuzzy board with this dyslexic pupil uses his sense of touch to reinforce his learning.
That's it, no. T-O-M. Tom.
This is part of a multi-sensory approach adopted by the school, which they find benefits all students, not just those with dyslexia.
Multisensory teaching, it really means that you are trying to teach to all the channels of input into somebody's brain. We learn from every experience of touch and feel and smell and listening, and every channel into our brains.
Apple.
Acorn.
A.
Ball.
With multisensory teaching, you're trying to put the information into as many different parts of the child's brain as you can, because then if one part fails, another part will remember.
Cat.
I was writing on Hannah's back to help her feel the shape of the letters in a different way, because she was listening to the letters and I was helping her to feel the way that the letters would be formed at the same time. In essence, multisensory teaching is just basic good practice that should be being carried out in all areas of the curriculum, from foundation stage children all the way through to year 6.
Bird is in the playground. Dad says. Mum says. Cousin in the country says.
Uncle in the navy says.
Auntie in the army says.
Auntie in the army says.
Auntie in the army says.
When we're teaching children to read and write, it can be quite a laborious business for dyslexic children, and anything that enlivens words for them is really excellent.
Pea brain, pie face, jug ears,
Slap head,
4 eyes,
carrot top.
Being lively, being really animated and as if you're enjoying the lesson, even if you're really tired and you don't feel like teaching that day, is really and particularly important to dyslexic children, because they very easily switch off into much more interesting thoughts than your boring lesson.
Go like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M.
The children start off with the alphabet in school. It's their first big things that they have to learn.
N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U.
This teacher, teaching the reception children their alphabet, she's putting it into more than just their ordinary listening memory. She's associating it with pitch, so she's singing it, she's associating it with rhythm, and so she's chanting it. She's actually putting in a physical movement as well by swaying, and so they will remember much more easily what she's teaching them.
Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
They're having fun, they're singing, they're joking, they're having a very varied experience of a lesson. And that is exactly what suits dyslexic children.
Okay, tip out the bag then. This is a little boy in year 2 who has a lot of difficulties with issues to do with sequencing. And that's why working on the alphabet is beneficial to him. A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
H,
Good.
I,
Well done.
J.
It's multisensory because you're saying something, so it's going in auditorily through the ears. You can see what he's doing, so it's a visual channel into the brain. And he's also moving his hands and actually doing something, which is the kinesthetic channel. And using all those 3 things together ensures that the information will get into his brain better than if you just went down one channel or another. Excellent.
Max still leaves out letters from his alphabet.
T,
W,
O, P, Q, R, S, T.
U.
Well done. U.
But Kate skillfully steers him to spot his own mistakes.
It's still in the bag.
As this little boy puts out his letters, he's uncertain sometimes not only of the order of the letters, but also their orientation and their height above the line or below the line.
And the G needs to go down, well done, and there's another letter that hangs below the line. Brilliant, well done. So I'm going to give you 4 letters. I want you to repeat them back to me, and then you can get them out, okay? You ready? Brains in. C, F, O, W.
C, F, O, W.
Get them out in order.
W.
Brilliant.
When Max makes mistakes, Kate does not immediately correct him.
The reason I don't chase him every single step of the way is because he would lose self-esteem very quickly if I did that. So I'm trying to improve his self-esteem, but then we go back and look at it together and make a few changes afterwards.
D, K, Q, I, Y.
Good boy.
The extra help Max has received from Kate has certainly boosted his self-esteem.
Q, Y.
Good boy.
I finished off my work today and it's on the wall. It says Max right there. That's how much writing I've done. And Kate helped me a lot.
To have got to this point in his writing has taken him a huge amount of effort, much more so than it would have done a child who doesn't have dyslexic difficulties. But using these these multisensory approaches has just made all the difference to him.
Right, this is the work that we did the other week on your rainbow
Kate has had a
stones.
specialist training in teaching children with dyslexia.
New work.
She uses a range of techniques to reinforce specific elements of their reading, writing and spelling.
One word this time.
She's found that for children with dyslexia, overlearning is essential.
C I D T T N.
Overlearning is really crucial. It means that instead of almost going up a ladder in terms of learning, the children are working their way up a spiral staircase, and this means they're constantly revisiting things that they've done previously. They're going to need to learn things over and over and over again for them to be eventually placed into their long-term memory.
Iron.
I.
Jug.
Jug.
The reading pack is a way of overlearning letter sounds and putting the letter sounds into the memory.
Pig.
The important thing is that they can look at the letter shape and remember which letter sounds are represented by that letter shape.
Rat.
Hannah has been prescribed these glasses, which seem to help her specific form of dyslexia.
I had them because I see these funny shapes and they go away in the way of my work.
For some children, and it's not all of them, the dyslexic children, but for some of them they might have a visual difficulty, which may be corrected by using a short-term use of these blue glasses, or maybe yellow glasses or pink glasses. Hannah, could you have a go at your own? And it's not something we can assess in school, but it's something that we do try and refer children onto if we're not sure.
Ant. A. Apron. A.
Good girl.
Glasses. Glue.
Good.
Rosa.
Hannah's a little girl that learns in a completely different sort of way. She's very creative. She's devised her own words for the reading pack. It's something we encourage children to do. Getting them to think up their own words that represent the letter sound for them is going to be much more beneficial because they'll remember them better.
So Hannah's pack, for example, had her friend Rosa in it, and so instantly she sees the R. And when she's reading, she occasionally would say, it's that one that I've got for Rosa, and we'll actually recognise the letter that way.
S-H.
The only way to teach dyslexic children to do really good, efficient, fast handwriting is what's called continuous cursive handwriting. It's continuous because your pencil doesn't come off the page during a whole word. Once they've started writing a word in continuous cursive handwriting, it is a motor skill that actually enables them to finish the word off. Their hand helps them to remember how to finish the word off. And for those teachers that are a bit sceptical about this, I suggest that they shut their eyes and they write their signature as they would write it on a cheque several times with their eyes shut. And then on the back of the page they write it several times with their eyes open, and they will see that they are identical because their hand actually does the writing. Handwriting is a motor skill. It's not to do with copying what your eyes see.
One of the things that we try very hard at the school to do is to help the children to become independent learners, and obviously the earlier we can pick that up to support the children to help themselves, the better.
If you can get children believing in themselves, knowing what they're good and bad at, knowing how to learn, knowing how to approach tasks, you've got children who are going to be successful for the rest of their education and probably the rest of their lives.